I know I'm very late in sharing my thoughts about the latest episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was a bit busy with my work and with another video. If you are into card games, you should check that video out from this link out here. And without further ado, let's talk about episode 4 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Hello, namaskar, welcome, swagatam. As usual, here is a spoiler warning for some of the details which will come out during this discussion. What I can't understand about this episode and the one before this is that what actually happened to the grounded, a little awkward and genuinely humble character we visited in episode 2? Was that just a misdirection? The John Walker in episodes 3 and 4 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is completely different from the one in episode 2.
John Walker, Captain America!
I am Captain America.
Granted that he is in way over his head with the responsibility of being Captain America while a rogue organization is wreaking havoc all over the world, and because all his efforts, investigations and following leads aren't leading anywhere. But we haven't actually seen John Walker suffer, not on the screen at least. So the question is whether the roadblocks the new Captain America is facing enough to justify his sudden outburst of frustration. Is that the kind of personality John Walker had? Or was it just put in place because the show doesn't have much time to delve in the nuances of the emotions of a secondary character in a 6-episode miniseries? At any rate, John Walker's transformation is the weakest link in the story of the episode 4. But I'll be lying if I said I didn't see it coming. If John Walker was really a nice person, worthy of being Captain America, albeit nowhere near as perfect as Steve Rogers was, well, that would have been an extraordinary story. But John Walker being a normal person susceptible to all manner of provocation and temptation, that can hardly be called a twist in the plot. And why the hell doesn't he ever shave? The only time he was clean shaven was during his introduction as Captain America in episode 1 and the stadium interview in episode 2.
The legacy of that shield is
when he was in the limelight. Anyways, as I said about the discussions about the previous episodes, the visual effects in this series are not flawless. In fact, the action which shows the augmented strength and speed of these super people when it is done with choreographed practical effects, it is nothing short of a marvel. Like the skirmish with the Dora Milaje.
we bled for this.
Great action through and through. But the moment it comes to flying and shield wielding, the show's reliance on not so perfect CGI is painfully obvious. Moving past these two issues, what I really thought about this episode as a whole was this. This episode excels at showing us the convergence of the different parties in play, with their different beliefs, their agendas, powers and personalities. Sam and Bucky are a team in this episode without much conflict because obviously there are bigger things at stake. Zemo is a character with a really focused mindset. He doesn't have any change of heart or anything. What he does in episode 4 serves the same goal as the things he did in the previous episodes did. The story builds up on the established narrative that Zemo is actually a formidable villain not because of his strength or money but because of his ideas and his intellect. The intervention of the Dora Milaje was a nice turn of events. Their no-nonsense attitude evident with each move. This episode also attempts to give weight to the character of Karli Morgenthau, the main antagonist of the series.
It doesn't have to be a war.
It already is.
It still felt half-baked to me. I mean, the part where she wants to help those in need by force, that is understandable. But Carly's speech and her actions show a huge mismatch. One that can only be explained by the fact that she is extremely arrogant and self-righteous. That and her super strength from the super soldier serum make her a dangerous opponent. Unfortunately, those don't make her a compelling character. Maybe all this is because we still haven't seen her genesis. Carly's actual origin, how she came to be, how she walked down this path. All we have seen so far, all we know about her are from her monologues and a few intelligence reports. Tell me, how do you feel about a villain who wants to make the world a better place by destroying the organizations that are supposed to help? I think at the very least you would wonder what those organizations actually did wrong to be labeled as evil. The whole antagonism of Carly and the Flag Smashers is with the Global Repatriation Council. I'd like to see what they did wrong, how seriously they screwed up to push someone to the extreme lengths of injecting themselves with the super soldier serum, and to get on the bad side of a menacing name of the power broker, whom we still haven't seen yet. Sam's interaction with Carly was beginning to bring the whole story to a new perspective, giving us some insight into the person that is Carly Morgan. But that scene was interrupted and the moment lost in favor of more action. Also, so far we haven't seen any resolution of the quandary which Sam and her sister are in. That issue of dwindling income is probably connected somehow to the bigger narrative here with the Flag Smashers agenda. We'll have to wait to find out if it is really something significant. I must say that with each episode, I am feeling a disconnect of the first episode with the overall story. As if the first story was just clickbait, showing off all the Falcon flying and kicking action. The beginning of this series made it appear the story was about Captain America's legacy, about the responsibility that comes with the title and the shield. The way the two protagonists, Sam and Bucky, try to live up to the ideal set by Steve Rogers.
Why'd you give up that shield? I did what I thought was right.
Against the government issued Captain America.
You don't want to do this.
All in all, a human story. But the moment the Flag Smashers came into the play, or rather the moment super soldiers and the super soldier serum came into play, it changed the emotional spectrum of the story. With super soldiers, there is always this fight of being the best and strongest. And the serum, well, that brings in all the temptation and the suspense that we are familiar with. Who will take the serum? How will the serum affect the person? And will the last of the serum be destroyed finally? I'm really not digging into the whole story of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The saving grace of the series so far have been the extremely good acting by Sebastian Stan and Daniel Brühl. Bucky and Zemo. That could have been the name of the series. But anyway, we still have 2 more episodes to go and a lot of issues to resolve. That brings us back to John Walker. The new Captain America is at the center of all the fight scenes in this episode, and there is no easy way to say it. He simply loses it. What he does in the final moments of the episode is why the episode is titled "The Whole World is Watching." Yeah, Captain America does something bad, which I'd allow you to discover for yourself when you watch the episode. The point is, you won't feel a hint of pity or sympathy for that guy. It feels like a predictable milestone in the path that he took. So, we'll see what happens in the next episode. Until then, I'd very much like to know how you feel about this episode and the series so far as a whole. There is no doubt that this story, The Falcon and the Winter Soldiers, a story, lacks something very important in storytelling: depth. There is a trade-off, I feel, between the limited screen time, the amount of comedy and action, and the actual story. What do you think? If you don't agree with my opinion or simply wish to speak your mind, jump right into the comment section to let me know your thoughts. As always, I'm eagerly looking forward to your feedback and comments. This is all from my side for today. Stay tuned with the Versatile Doctor for your regular dose of MCU talk and for the talk of several aspects of the multifaceted journey that is life. This is Dr. Abhinav Atul signing off. It is my pride and privilege to be able to connect with you through this video. Namaskar. While you are still on YouTube, how about you check out this video which YouTube thinks you would like, or check out my WandaVision series discussion.